Hey everyone, good morning. This is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Today I have a special reading for you called What Does Spirit Want You to Let Go of? And What Does Spirit Want to Bring in for you instead? Okay? So I got inspired to do this reading because right now Pluto is squaring the sun. And it happens, this is kind of a yearly occurrence because we've had Pluto hovering around the same degrees in Capricorn for a while. Pluto takes a very long time to move through the sign that it's in, whereas the sun obviously is changing signs every 30 days or so. So right now, the Aries sun is squaring Pluto in Capricorn. And it's tough, you know. The energy is exact from April 13th, 14th, and 15th. And so if you're watching this video is timeless. You can really watch it at any point. But I will say the energy, the energy in the collective is pretty interesting right now because of that. I was on a walk yesterday, and it was kind of one of those days where you wanted to watch to make sure that nobody was gonna hit you. Like you watched multiple times before crossing the street because it just felt, I don't know, how do we explain the Pluto energy? Oh my, I could do a whole video on explaining Pluto energy because it's something I'm very familiar with. But Pluto has to do with elimination, resurrection, letting go, going to the depths, really the experience of having to let go of that one thing that you just, the price is high with Pluto. Let's put it that way. For going deep, the price is high. And a lot of times, there's a lot of grief around Pluto issues. There can be a lot of numbness too. I think that's the other thing that people don't always understand about Pluto is that, we all have Pluto somewhere in our astrology charts, but and transits can trigger Pluto issues, of course. But Pluto, to me, there's always a numbing element with Pluto. It's a very icy, remote planet, used to be a planet, demoted. But yeah, it's a very icy, remote world, and it's the most remote planet in our traditional solar system, right before we discovered all the other planets that are actually bigger than Pluto. But Pluto, nevertheless, is still a major player, and I sometimes feel like Pluto is Novocaine for the soul. It's where we can numb out because things are just and disassociate because things are just too hard to face. So as a result, today I want to do a reading about, what does Spirit really want us to let go of, okay? Because certain things in our lives, we might miss the boat on sometimes. We don't really see how holding on to a particular person, issue, habits, etc., are actually numbing us out or bringing us down, and we need to let go of those things, right? So, and then in place of that, if we let go, what does Spirit want to bring in for us, right? What is trying to come through for us instead, okay? So with that being said, we've got 4 piles. We've got the Malachite, Buckeye, Amethyst, cool pink rock, okay? So pick whatever pile you're drawn to. Buckeye is for good luck. Malachite is for the heart chakra. Amethyst is for the third eye. And this cool pink rock always reminds me of Venus. My good friend gave me this pink rock after a trip to Michigan. She found it by the beaches there on a walk. So anyway, let us continue on with your reading. So let's move piles 2 through 4 aside here, okay? I'm gonna move them aside, and we're gonna go ahead and get into pile number 1. So pile number 1, if you chose the Malachite, this is your reading. Our question is, what does Spirit want you to let go of right now? And what does Spirit want to bring in its place? Okay. All right, so I pulled 2 cards from my Dark Mirror Oracle as well, so that we could look at some of the shadow energies that are operating here, because Pluto, letting go, elimination, Pluto, etc., has to do with, facing our shadow, looking at our shadow. Okay, so there's this sense with the shadow that we're not willing to face is being alone in the world and masquerade, okay? So masquerade is, when I think of a masquerade, obviously people are wearing masks and they're having fun and they're being very social and they're with others. They're supposed to be having fun. This person doesn't look like they're having a lot of fun at the masquerade, but I think, it's that tendency, even if we're with others, to feel alone. Even if we're with others, we feel lonely and misunderstood, right? And then with this alone in the world, it's just this feeling of being orphaned and of feeling like basically if something happened to you, nobody would even check, right? And that you would just be by yourself and life would just go on and no one would really care, right? And there's this energy of this shadow energy, this Pluto energy of, kind of being afraid of being alone and going into, really, really going into the feeling. Now, there's a lot of philosophical thoughts. We're never we always have our spirit guides, our angels, our team with us. We're never alone. But what I sense that Spirit is trying to bring in for you is something for you, pile number 1, where you actually do need to bring an end to a situation and stop something that you've been doing, and you do need to go off on by yourself, okay? And a feeling that I get is this could definitely be a relationship. This could be a work situation. Apply it to your situation as you see fit. But I definitely see that you definitely need to let go of a situation that is no longer serving you. And I think you know what that situation is. It's been over. It's been done. There's been stick a fork in it in this situation for a long time. You're with the Hermit too here in the 10 of Swords as what Spirit is trying to bring in for you. Spirit is trying to bring into you a more spiritual experience, is trying to get you away from the mask that you have to wear around others, where you feel like you can't really be yourself and show who you are. Spirit is trying to bring you into a spiritual experience and bring you away from everyone else's opinions and everyone else's influences. Spirit wants you to go on an internal journey and go within yourself and really suss out how you feel and where you're at with things. With this Silence card here too, I see that, and the creativity, this silence, this letting go is the key to your creativity and to igniting your passions, right? And there likely is some situation that needs to be forgiven here. And this is what I would advise pile number one. If there is somebody that you've been very angry with, a situation that really felt unfair, that really, really oppressed you and brought you down, or just caused you a lot of mental anguish, my advice is ask Archangel Michael. If you work with the archangels or you work with angels in general, ask the angels to clear these thoughts from your mind. Now, I know that when you're angry about something, because you're a very passionate pile number one, you're very passionate, and you're very emotionally passionate as well. And forgiveness isn't always, calming yourself down and forgiving isn't always the easiest thing. Sitting in silence is not always the easiest thing for you, but it is the key to your creativity. And a lot of times these thoughts, right, with 10 of Swords, Sun and Gemini here, our thoughts become like poison. Our thoughts become poisonous in a way. And I know with Pluto, there can be a level of obsession where we just think about a situation that wronged us, or a situation from the past that was hard and difficult and challenging, and we think we have a conversation in our head with the other person, basically ripping them to shreds for what they did, right? And sometimes that is what needs to happen, right? You need to go through your anger, you need to purify yourself in the fire, and I'm not suggesting otherwise. But when it comes to your creativity, and it comes to, your self-love, your nurturing, your ability to go with the flow, your ability to really just heal and be in your own creative, regenerative power, there is, there is part of you, I feel, that's going to want to stop some of these conversations from happening and really get into, forgiveness. It says holding on to resentment and anger is preventing or suffocating your spiritual growth. Resentment is one of the strongest, most damaging emotions. The act of forgiveness in its own right is equally powerful, and it has the capacity to heal and transform, okay? So I'm not saying, go back to that person and say, I forgive you. Forgiveness is something you can do on your own time, in your own space, and you don't need the other person to do it. And forgiveness is something that happens, it's a spiralic journey. It's not linear. It's not like I forgive and then immediately it's done, right? Forgiveness is something that we slowly unfold as we work through it, but you can always ask the angels and your guides to help you through any challenging resentments that you have felt. And releasing some of those and getting help with some of those is really going to give you passion, okay? So it says life devoid of passion can be boring and uninspired, a blank canvas that slowly drains the soul. Now is the time to reignite your passions and rejoin life. This is an opportunity to set new goals, which will in turn reconnect you with all that is sacred, okay? So Spirit wants you to be more creative, to go within, right? To face any feelings that you have about being alone and having to cater to others and hide yourself just to, not feel alone. Spirit wants you to face those feelings and face any resentments that have built up as a result of having gone through that, and wants you to be in the silence, be okay with, healing and going within. I mean, we have no choice right now. We're in a quarantine. Most of us are in a quarantine, so we have to go within, forced going within. But I really see with this Empress here, I see this beautiful reaching for your creativity, for your blessings, for your truth, right? For your healing. So Keep reaching for that. Pile number 1, that's where Spirit wants you to go. Spirit wants you to let go of situations that have really, really run its course. And when I see the Ten of Swords, it's like this situation has been done. It's been over. You know it, right? You might have been stuck in the energy and playing it out kind of just on a Groundhog Day with certain things. But in your heart, you know that this situation is over and that you really need to leave on your own, single, okay? Singular. And that doesn't mean, you know, like if you're married, I don't mean leave your spouse or anything like that if things are going well, etc., right? I mean that you might need to leave work situations singular on your own. You might need to leave certain friendships singular and on your own. You might need to leave a budding romance that you thought was going to turn out one way, but inside you know it's not going to be cool. You might need to walk away from that, okay? And don't be afraid to walk away from things in your life. I'm going to say that to you too, pile number 1. Don't be afraid to walk away from things. Don't let any fear of being alone or facing things keep you from just moving forward, because it is time to move forward. And it's a spiritual practice for you, pile number 1, to move forward. It's a spiritual practice for you to embrace your wisdom and your own sovereignty and your own inner knowing. It is, you know, wonderful for you to do that with the Hermit energy here. That's where Spirit wants you to go. So what does Spirit specifically want to let go of for you? Okay, so you know, the Star, the World, and the Ace of Wands. So you might be thinking, wow, these are pretty good energies. Why does Spirit want me to let go of the Star, the World, and the Ace of Wands? So the way I would read this is you might have had a sense that some situations were just fated and that you were destined to experience them, and you didn't really have your own, like, also that your own agency. Also, it's like maybe you didn't, you felt like you just had to hang in there no matter what with this World card and the Star. So you have 2 major arcana cards here, and I do sense this energy of feeling that you have to heal others. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful, pile number 1, that you want to help heal others and you want to help inspire others and you want to help others grow. But I get the sense that this has taken away from some of your own internal processes. Okay, so here with the Star card, it's like there's a naivety, I always say that word wrong, naiveness here. With the Star card, the you know, the shadow aspect of that can be like being very naive and not seeing things for what they are. And with the World, it can be just doing too much and not willing to, you know, being out in the world, doing everything in the world. With the World and the Ace of Wands, it's like just being out in the world and feeling like you constantly have to push and do things and be with others constantly. The World is, to me, different than the Hermit, okay? So Spirit wants you to go towards the Hermit energy, which is basically shelter in place your energy. The World card is, you know, changing. I could read this as, you know, changing the world or getting out in the world, a completion, right? So maybe you've been hung up. You've been hung up in a naive place and you haven't wanted to bring completion to a situation that really is needing completion, and it's held you back from some of your creative projects and interests, and it's been a distraction for you. Okay, with these Yesod, you know, kind of falling from the tree here with this wand with these leaf type looking things, it reminds me of, you know, kind of shaking a tree, right? So if you shake a tree and the leaves just start coming down like that, maybe you've been unwilling to you wanted to just keep driving yourself forward in situations. You've been unwilling to just kind of stand in the silence with yourself, let go of situations. And you maybe haven't wanted to face the darker aspects of having to let go and the darker aspects in yourself, right? So I think that that's very important for you to do as far as letting go. Pile number one, let go of something that's been dead for a long time and you know it's gone, and go within to heal from that, okay? So thank you so much, pile number one. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Hope all of us are learning to let go a little bit more each day as we go here. Okay, so for pile number two, if you chose the Buckeye, this is your reading, okay? So the question is, what does Spirit want you to let go of, and what does Spirit want to bring in for you instead, okay? Okay. Oh. All right, pile number two. This is powerful. The shadow energies that we're working with here are fated to suffer an artificial heart, okay? There's a song by Cat Power called Metal Heart. And for those of you that haven't heard that song, you can Google it and look at it. With this artificial heart, I'm thinking of that song called Metal Heart. But fated to suffer, to me, this looks like you think that the shadow energy here that you need to let go of is feeling like you're fated to be with people in friendships, romances, work situations. I'm really feeling romances here, but that you're really fated to be with people who do not have a soft heart like you, with people who are very mechanical and robotic, that you're fated to be with people who are very selfish, with people who are wanting to deceive you, that you're fated to being with people or being surrounded by people who aren't warm people, okay? Who don't have any warmth or any, and actually have an intention to cause you suffering and pain, okay? And so it's really important. Spirit wants you to, Spirit wants, with all this green, all this beautiful green, I definitely feel you're like a heart chakra pull here. Like Spirit wants you to be single, be on your own, be in your own energy, and feel bountiful, fruitful, give yourself the things that you need, right? Give yourself everything that you feel that others can't give you, right? If you feel like you're getting a poison apple from others, right? The antidote to that is so much self-love and so much nurturing to yourself, right? Okay. So, and with her eyes wide open here, I do feel like, you know, Spirit wants your eyes to be wide open, wants you to see situations for what they are. And Spirit wants you to let go of heaviness that wants you to let go of distortion, okay? Distortion in your thoughts and in your, whatever caused this distortion to think that you're fated to suffer and that everyone around you is going to wound you with their artificial heart. Basically, everybody's robotic. Spirit wants you to be in your own energy for a while, stay in your own energy, and wants you to keep your eyes wide open, okay? Not because you have to be super paranoid, not because you need to watch everyone's every move, but because to be wide open to who you are. Like, look how beautiful this person is, okay? Look how beautiful you are, right? There's a youthful energy I feel that Spirit wants you to recapture, some youthful energy, and make that a part of your self-love and the way that you're holding space for yourself. Like, Spirit wants you to restore yourself to a time when, maybe go back and look at the time when you started to believe that, when you lost some faith in humanity and you felt like you're fated to suffer, okay? And that's just your lot in life. I feel Spirit wants you to go back to that time and rescue your inner child, you know, the adult in you, the one who's safe and secure now, wants you to go back in time and rescue your inner child from those thoughts and from those beliefs, okay? And with this mind here, I really see the distortion in the mind. If you look at the two differences in these two cards, if this is the energy that you've been in, we're feeling very distorted, very mechanical. Look, like there's a mechanical eye there. Everything is mechanical. Everything is in the mind. It doesn't feel natural enough. Spirit wants you to be natural, wants you to use natural products, use natural lotions, have natural fiber clothing, wants you to be more natural. Like, I'm not saying go buy a whole new wardrobe, but I'm just trying to give you examples of how to be more natural and more connected to nature, because nature teaches us that things are not robotic, right? Nature is not robotic. Nature is totally, I can't even think of the word, spontaneous, right? Nature is totally spontaneous and bursting with life. It's the opposite of this kind of like dystopian, robotic, you know, future world that I feel like sometimes that energy is really around us as humans, right? And we're supposed to be getting back into appreciation for nature and the feminine, right? So there's some lessons here. There's some, Spirit wants to lead you down the path of having a very natural existence where things flow, where your emotions flow, your energies flow, where you don't feel like you have to be marching in line 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, you can just let go and just be natural with things, right? And with this 8 of Cups here, Spirit is really wanting you to let go. So this is like, what does Spirit want you to let go of? Well, I definitely see a relationship here. Maybe it's a relationship that you've been in for a long time. It could be a friendship. It could be a marriage. It could be a situation with a family member. But Spirit wants you to let go of this situation because it has become too much for you, okay? And it's given you a lot of heaviness. You have a choice to make. Spirit wants you to make a choice for yourself, a choice that really radiates your own heart and really is true to your own heart, and wants you to move away from false energy that is robotic and has taught you that your lot in life is to suffer through relationships, that you always have to be the sacrifice, right? There needs to be a moving on from that matrix, if that's the matrix that you've been operating in. With the Judgment card here too, I see that you're awakening to this, that you're awakening to this mechanical energy, to this energy of having to fall in line, to feel like you're fated, your fate is your fate. With the Judgment card here, XX, I see you evolving out of that. I see you becoming too smart for that. I see you really pushing yourself out of that energy by your own will and determination. Beyond illusion, right? That you're fated to suffer is an illusion, pile number 2. And that everybody is robotic and everybody has a metal heart, and there aren't, warm people who really are more natural for you, and who are more of a natural fit, is also an illusion. And you can see the butterfly and the third eye just lit up in this picture. And it's like, you're moving beyond that illusion. And Spirit is very happy that you're letting that go and moving beyond that. I also have 2 messages straight from Spirit here too, is self-love. Now is the time to love and nurture and heal yourself. Self-love is not simply a state of mind about feeling good. It's not just that's where we see the mind, right? Just the mind robotically controlling everything. Spirit wants you to get beyond the mind controlling everything and get into real nurturing, a state of appreciation for yourself that grows and matures from actions you take to support yourself. Okay, so it's real actions that you take in the world to support yourself, and moves that you make in the world to support yourself that are really leading the charge here. Soul solitude, your soul needs attention. There are moments when it's important to get away, not just from the noise of the outside world, but to find a place where your soul can experience peace and quiet, a place for solitude. This is time to pause, reflect, a time for you, okay? And again, with this Judgment card, it's like, the traditional definition of the Judgment card is Gabriel sounding the trumpet and people rising out of their graves beyond illusion, right? So there is this attention, right? It's like attention, your soul needs attention. And we want Spirit wants you to take some definitive actions towards self-love. And it's not just like, getting a massage or whatever. It might be part of that too. That might be part of it. But what practical steps with the 9 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, what practical steps can you take to actually create an environment that's more loving and peaceful and natural for you, an environment that isn't robotic, okay? What actual practical steps can you take to make that happen for you? So thank you so much, pile number 2. I hope that reading was made sense for you there and that you enjoyed that. Maybe enjoy isn't the right word. Learned something, right? Okay. So Amethyst here for pile number 3. If you chose pile number 3, you chose the Amethyst, which is a very spiritual, high vibrational crystal. Okay, so let's see. What does Spirit want you to let go of, and what does Spirit want to bring in for you instead, okay? Spirit has a sense of humor this morning. Oh my God, I'm feeling it for you, pile number 3. I'm feeling it. Okay. All right, so for the darker shadow energies, and we all have shadow energies, right? We've all got them. Spirit really wants you to move away from calling the storm and revenge, okay? So calling the storm, when I think of calling the storm, I see you as being a very driven and strong person, definitely driven and strong, okay? You might be putting too much energy on situations that are being handled karmically, okay? Like you're putting too much energy on situations that, you know, the spirit realm has already got for you, okay? They've already got you on certain things. If certain people have done you dirty, have kept you in, if there's other people who have done you wrong, right? With this revenge card. Oh, I love her, right? I love her. Look at how powerful she is in calling the storm. You're very powerful, pile number 3, but there's this whole saying of make sure that you're expending your energy on a worthy target, okay? And you might not have a worthy target in front of you. If you've been in some energy of revenge or wanting to take revenge on someone or doing magical works to kind of get revenge or to throw a dagger at someone in a certain way from a magical perspective, or if you've been thinking about doing some type of work against somebody else, or maybe you just maybe it's not even that either. Maybe it's just you want to see a situation come into balance. You want to see the scales of karma be adjusted. You want adjustment, right? And I do feel like with the swords here and the revenge, there's a justice energy here where you want justice in a situation. You want to see someone brought to their knees for what they did, okay? And this could be on a like on a societal level, like a political, I'm getting political for some of you guys, like, this injustices in the world and what you're seeing around you that's been very challenging or difficult to witness, and you want balance brought to that. I also see, relationships. I see friendships and family relationships and also romantic relationships where, you want certain people called out and you want situations righted, okay? And that's very Plutonic as well. It's very platonic. Maybe this is a platonic friendship. I don't know. Maybe it's a platonic relationship. Who knows, right? But it's a general reading, so you have to fit it to your situation. But there's this Plutonic energy, Pluto energy here that wants karma to be visited and wants to see that karma, and see that karma, not necessarily carried out by you, not necessarily done by you, but you just want to see certain situations righted, okay? And there's a righteousness, like a self-righteousness that comes into play like with that. It's like, this situation is very off kilter and it needs to be brought to justice, right? And so I definitely feel that energy with you guys, but look at how cool that is too. I mean, your shadow is cool, but just needs to tone it down a little bit, because I think that, what you really want to focus on, pile number 3, is you want to focus on, you basically want to focus your energy on worthy targets, and you want to know that Mother Nature's got you, okay? Mother Nature's got you. Spirit's got you. The angelic realms got you. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to wish karma. You don't have to lift a finger. And, sitting around and kind of waiting for that, I feel, or waiting to see that, or putting a lot of energy towards that, stalls your transformation here, okay? It stalls energy that's trying to move forward for you. And with what Spirit is trying to bring you here is the 6 of Wands and the Chariot, okay? They want to bring you a new perspective on this situation, but they also want you to get your ass moving, okay? They want you to stop focusing on situations that need resolution that you feel you need to be the one to do this, or you need to see this. They want you to move beyond that, okay? They want to bring you a higher perspective. I'm feeling a lot of energy in this reading, like a lot of get up and move and go do it kind of energy. And look at this, how confident she is, okay? This is like Six of Wands is Jupiter and Leo energy. And then you've got the Chariot here as well with perspective. And so, and the clock is speeding up, right? The clock is moving on, the clock is moving forward. And you know, there's this energy of the Six of Wands of get productively selfish, okay? Get productively selfish in the sense that you are worried about you. You're worried about what you got your eye on. You're looking at your prize, what you're trying to collect, and you're moving forward, okay? So Spirit definitely wants you to keep pushing forward and do not, I'm getting, they want me to tell you that you're not the angel of mercy. And when I say the angel of mercy, I mean like, I'm thinking like, what's that movie where, it's the werewolf movie. I can't even think of it right now. Anyway, it has a badass female character in it. You're a badass female character, of course. But Spirit wants you to move into, wants you to fucking hide. I'm sorry, I'm swearing a lot in this reading. I don't know if you swear a lot, but wants you to move out of a situation very quickly and for your own personal purposes, okay? So there is an energy of just saying, you know what, like, it doesn't even matter. I don't even have to wish karma because Spirit's got me. And with the trust card here, your logical mind is dictating supposedly clear direction. Your soul's inner guidance is urging you to follow an alternative path. The logical path may be one that you consider safe and more familiar, but you could be missing out on boundless opportunities and so much more. By focusing on these energies, you miss out, okay? So Spirit wants you to push forward on things. Push forward and trust, okay? It's gonna lead to an amazing transformation and to a bold, brilliant celebration here. It's gonna lead to a lot of freedom, a lot of fun, a lot of just getting to be who you are with the people that you love, right? And the other message Spirit is coming through, which I love this. I absolutely love it. Look at these two. It says, be proud, okay? She is proud. She is for sure proud. Be proud of yourself. It's time to celebrate all that you've achieved, all that you are, and that you will become. Every once in a while, it's important to stop and acknowledge what you've achieved and to be proud, right? So they're saying, pause, be proud. Look at everything you've achieved. Do your victory dance, right? But keep going, right? Keep pushing forward, keep moving forward. Do not, you don't need to be somebody's personal, angel of death, angel of mercy, however you want to look at it. Like that person will get theirs in their own time. Okay. And I love how Spirit has a sense of humor with you because these are the two cards that Spirit wants you to move forward. These are the three they want you to move away from. So they have Six of Wands in both piles, right? So it's like, I feel like they're sneaky, they're like, ha ha ha. They want to get that message through, whether it's on the side that you're bringing in or letting go of. They just want you to be proud and trust that things are going to work out and that, ultimately you're the captain of your ship and you're leading the charge here, okay? Old energy that they want you to let go of is Eight of Swords and the Hangman. So they want you to let go of old ass energy that feels stagnant and has been holding you back, okay? They want you to let go of any feelings of being a victim or that you were not in charge of what was happening around you, that you basically have to, you just have to hang in there and suffer through it. And I'm seeing the letter T. So if it has to do with a place or a person or you, that could be something for some of you that are watching too. So Spirit really wants you to let go, okay? They're like, you have done enough. Get off your cross. You've done enough work, okay? You've done enough work. You've hung into situations that you could have let go of, that Spirit wants you to transform out of, that you can just let go of these situations and let them be what they are. Move into spiritual acceptance, right? Move out of the bargaining phase, move out of the, go through it if you need to. We're not saying you have to move forward, just totally bypass any stages of grief here. But I'm not seeing a bypassing energy. I'm really seeing you were just in the energy for a long time, okay? And Spirit wants you to be proud of where you are and how far you've come, and really just keep pushing forward and gain a new perspective on some of these situations in your life, okay? So thank you, pile number 3. Your energy is very dynamic. And if you don't feel dynamic, then Spirit wants you to be dynamic, okay? And pile number 4 is this cool pink rock that my friend gave me. It always feels like pretty and pink Venus energy to me, which is so cute. Okay, so let's take a look at what does Spirit want you to let go of, and what does Spirit want to bring in for you instead, okay? Aw, sweet. Oh, wow. Oh. Woo. All right. Okay. I'm feeling it for you guys. Pile number 4. Spirit wants you to let go of situations that no matter how much you obsess over them, no matter how much energy you put into them, no matter how much you try to do, it just ends up in the same result, okay? It just ends up in the same position that you've always been in, and it's like the efforts feel wasted, okay? I'm getting this could be a work situation. I'm getting a work situation here big time, although this could also be romantic or friendship. But I'm getting the sense that you sometimes miss the boat on supporting yourself properly because you become very obsessed with certain outcomes, and those outcomes are heavy and chain you down, okay? They create a space where you don't feel like you have the freedom to move and the freedom to come and go as you please, okay? It's an energy of oppression that weighs heavy on you sometimes, and you don't, I feel like you don't realize sometimes that you are driving this obsession, that if there are certain goals that you have or certain things that you have, that certain things that you have, that's not very exact, certain focuses that you have are basically like to the exclusion of everything else. When I look at this red X right here, I see focusing in, right? But then there's all this other stuff around you that's beautiful, that's supportive, that's loving, that's amazing. And I really see you feeling like, oh yeah, I really see that, Spirit wants you to let go of this sense that everything is on your shoulders and everything is dependent on you, okay? And the tightness and the responsibility and the burdens that this has put on you, okay? You may have been overly responsible, and you may have given too much in certain areas of your life in the past, okay? Because of certain ways you wanted things to go. And so Spirit is asking you, not even asking you, is telling you, please just let go of that, okay? And they're going to be here to support you through that. I'm really feeling the energy of support here for you, pile number 4. I'm really feeling like you're very supported, you're very loved, you're very cared for. And if there is a sense that you don't have the support that you need and you're constantly having to fight to get what you need and you constantly have to be armored up and in a state of fight or flight and obsessed with certain outcomes and the way things are going because it was a survival mechanism, right? I'm getting the sense now that Spirit wants you to soften and to go with the flow, right? And I feel some sadness here too for you, pile number 4. I do feel some sadness, and Spirit wants you to release those chains and wants you to just be free and go with the flow, okay? Just really, really just, you know that feeling you get when you're floating and you're in a pool or you're swimming in the ocean and you just lay on your back and you float? Spirit wants you to have that kind of a feeling instead of this. Look at the contrast of these two cards, having to basically armor up and, look at the facial expression on that card too. It's just like, just having to kind of bear down and handle things and deal with it. Spirit wants you to release some of this. And I do feel like some of this release is in your body, okay? And I just heard the word sexually. Sexually in your body too. They want you to release. So emotionally, sexually, however, they want you to have some release and not always feel. I'm getting a lot of muscle tightness with the fighting here and the need to always be armored. I'm getting muscle tightness and some fight or flight traumatic responses, okay? So I'm definitely feeling like Spirit wants to lighten your load. Spirit wants to lighten your energy and wants to support you in doing that. The other 3 readings were really about what those, the ones that chose those piles should be doing. This is more like, how does Spirit want to support you? I feel like you've been supporting others for a long time and carrying the weight for others. It reminds me like when I was in grad school and, like you're on a team with 4 people and, 1 or 2 people are doing all the other work and the other 2 are just sitting around, right? And you might have had a lot of energy like that in your life where it's like you're trying to make things happen and do things and push things forward. And it's such slow going, right? And things just took forever and felt very heavy. And that's because you were carrying a lot of the weight, okay? And weight that you took on yourself for whatever reason, right? I am getting like childhood trauma, etc. Some things, it might not apply to you, but it may, all right? This is general reading. So I'm getting you having to carry a weight for a long time, and Spirit wants you to be released from that in your body, all right? Celebration, the 3 of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles. So Spirit wants you to they want to bring to you relationships where the give and take is equal and things are balanced, okay? And they want you to celebrate and have an amazing time with the people around you and go with the flow. They want you to celebrate how much you've accomplished and how much you have endured, but they want you to be lighter. They want you to be, I see these pink butterflies here and I'm like, aw, they want you to be lighter. There's at the bottom of this card, there's a bunch of hands that are reaching out, right? And maybe you felt like that, like everybody's just trying to want something, is trying to take something. But the 6 of Pentacles is about balance. It's about giving to yourself. It's about supporting yourself and then supporting others to the extent that you can, but no more. It's also about, the 3 of Cups here is all about celebration, going with the flow. I love these little squiggles here and then the squiggles in the water. It's just all about getting out of the heavy energy and really just, I'm getting the sense that you could do some stretching. You could roll your shoulders. You could do a little bit of yoga, take a walk, right? I'm getting this energy of like really wanting to open up the heart chakra, really wanting to take a deep breath. Let some of these things happen in your body is what I'm also getting here. And then some direct messages from Spirit is support. People come into your life for many different reasons. Some you learn from and then they may move on, while others return, and often because you need to learn more from those individuals. Others remain beside you throughout your entire life, okay? I really see this as less about that message that I just read, honestly, and more about this egg of protection. I actually did a meditation the other day with an egg. It's about receiving healing from Spirit, imagining yourself kind of in this egg, in this beautiful bubble, like you're being birthed again, right? And all these hands laying over you and giving to you and sharing with you, right? So it's this, and with this wing in the background, it just reminds me of the angels, right? Like you might be one of those people so giving, it's like you're an earth angel. But right now, Spirit really wants to give back to you and help you grow, okay? And I'm seeing a mother's love here too. Now, some of you might have developed these patterns of overgiving because of your mother, because maybe she overgave, maybe she set a poor example for you with that, maybe she was not great and you had to step in and fill her shoes. Maybe there is some healing there that needs to happen now for you, within you. But I'm also seeing this as the universal mother, as the nurturing, divine, feminine that loves you and cares for you and is basically looking down, right? This looks like a picture of someone's mother, but I don't actually read it that way. I look at that as like the divine feminine in her most glorious form, like Mother Gaia, looking at all the beautiful creations of the world and really shining healing in that space, okay? So it says a mother's love is reaching out to you at this time and holding you close. She knows how much you miss her and wants to remind you this special bond of love can never be broken. Maybe your mother has crossed over and you guys had a great relationship and you miss her very much, and she's with you. A mother or grandmother figure is with you right now to show you, hey, it's okay. Like, I am nurturing you. I am here for you. I am right behind you, supporting you. And look, this card just fell down. Whoop. This mother's love is like, nope, I got you. So anyway, thank you so much, pile number 4. Healings and blessings to you on your path. Have a beautiful day, everyone, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you so much.